And next we have our Shea Tolman Unified Softball Team Division III Championship. Come on, a lot of them. All right, so I'm going to start reading off the names. Yep. Amasadia de la Souza. Janelle Borges. Jamiri Desiree. Cassandra Fernandez. Marina Fonseca. Madison Gibbons. Alexandria Lara. Brianna Lowe. Leila Mendez. Raven Miranda. Coach Stephen Cooper. Assistant Coach Andrew Negre. All right. Anna Marie Barry. Megan Bonin. Gina Carpenter. Camila Coleman. Diane Cooper. Here we go. Janaya Gordon. Caitlin Hine. Erica Marcotti. Anaya Moore. Yeah. Katrina Strang. I remember Katrina sometime. Coach Scott Cooper. Assistant Coach.
Sorry. So in the interest of time, we have to move a Next up is the special reports of the of the high school representatives. Do we have anyone here from Charles E. Shea? Genesis.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to lead our The Shays boys tennis team ended their season on a positive note with a win against EWG in a close match. It was a total team effort. They will all be back next year with the exception of Max, who is a senior. We only had 6 players. We need more players to come out next year to make it a full team. Great job, Shay. Tryouts for football will begin very soon. I would like to congratulate our Shay/Tolman girls softball team for winning the Division III state championship this weekend against Central High School. The team finished with an undefeated season, an amazing 18-0 in record in the division. Congrats to all the players and coaches for an unbelievable and memorable season. Sign-ups will be held Tuesday, June 14th after school in the cafeteria for any student interested in joining the boys or girls cross-country team. Key Club News. The Key Club would like to thank everyone for an amazing support this year. We've done some great things and we're thankful for everyone who helped out. Our senior news. Many scholarship opportunities were presented. Graduation was last Friday. Thank you to everyone who showed up and supported the class of 2022. We, including the Shea administrators and teachers, wish all the graduates the best of luck. Congratulations to valedictorian Frankie Freeman and salutatorian Arissa Campbell. The seniors went on their senior trip last week on Wednesday. They visited Brownstone Adventure Park. Thank you to everyone who helped make this possible. More seniors presented their portfolios. Honors Night was held Wednesday, May 25th. Seniors and juniors received many awards and scholarships, some adding up to over $200,000. Prom was May 27th. There was a great turnout and everybody had a great time. On the week of May 16th, we participated in the Spirit Week. Our days were Pastel Day, Teacher Tuesday, Denim on Denim Day, Met Gala Day, and Floral Friday. The class of 2024 held sign-ups for anyone interested in running for school officers 2023 to 2024. A representative from We Make Our Ride visited Shea on Thursday, May 26th for an advisory. They have a paid summer internships and will train you for full-time in career in manufacturing. Exams for grades 9, 10, and 11 begin tomorrow. We're excited to finish off the year strong and finally begin our summer. We would also like to congratulate 4 students from Shea who recently got inducted into the Teen Hall of Fame, those being Frankie Freeman, Arissa Campbell, Zachary Pinto, and myself, Lynette Santos. That is it. Thank you, guys.
From Tolman.
Hello, my name is Maya Bishop, and I'm a rising senior at Tolman. So this is my first time doing this, so please excuse any errors. Tolman hosted an NEA SC collaborative visit on May 16th and 17th. The visit went very well, and we are expecting an official report in the next couple of weeks. The junior prom was held on May 21st at the Valley Country Club, and it was a beautiful spring event. The event was a big success and very well attended by our juniors. It was very fun. I went. Tolman held its annual honors and awards night on Thursday, May 26th. Students were recognized for induction to the Rhode Island and National Honor Societies, and students were also recognized for earning the Pawtucket and Rhode Island seals of biliteracy. Finally, over 20 students received book awards and scholarships totaling over $32,000 thanks to the generosity of our community partners. Our Spring Key Spirit Award breakfast was held on Friday, May 27th. The award winners from Tolman were Corey Ferreira for baseball, Mario Gonzalez for boys outdoor track, Anaya Rua for softball, Oahu Berry for girls outdoor track, Stephen Sick for volleyball, and James Sumo for unified basketball. The first annual Shea Tolman Sports Banquet was held at the Pawtucket Country Club on June 2nd. The Tolman student athletes recognized for their tremendous accomplishments were Eric Carrion for the 9-letter award, Jessica Lorenzo for the 12-letter award, Aaron Carrion again for the male student athlete, Martin Lopes for outstanding male student athlete, Gina Carpenter for outstanding female student athlete, and the scholarship winners included Charlie Lopez, Brody Motes, Corey Pereira, Gina Carpenter, Martin Lopes, and Vanessa Elza. The Shulman girls softball team completed an undefeated season and won the Division III state championship. The girls defeated Central High School on June 3rd to clinch the title. The girls showed great camaraderie and came together as a unified team. The senior prom was then held on June 4th at the Hotel Viking in Newport, and over 185 students and faculty attended the event. The venue was amazing, and the students had an incredible time. The annual senior picnic was held on the athletic field after graduation. Rehearsals were on June 7th, and students enjoyed a cookout along with entertainment by a DJ. The weather was perfect for the event. Coleman was proud to have 3 seniors inducted into the Pawtucket Teen Hall of Fame on June 8th. They were recognized for outstanding community service and contributions to the Pawtucket community. These students were Shaylin Messier, Hillary Romero Castillo, and Megan Bonin. Tolman held its 94th graduation in the beautiful Tolman Auditorium on June 9th. The event included wonderful speeches from Gina Carpenter and Isabella Lacriora, both are salutatorian and valedictorian, and the band and chorus did a great job on the national anthem as well as performing their senior musical selection. Congratulations to all of the graduates. The annual Freshman Academy Award ceremony will take place tomorrow evening at 6 in the Tolman Auditorium. The event will recognize freshmen for the outstanding events, achievements, as well as those who have shown considerable improvement throughout the year.
Do you have anyone from Jack Walsh?
Hello, everyone. My name is Noah Epstein. I am a rising senior theater major at the Jacqueline M. Walsh School for the Performing and Visual Arts. We have had quite the spring. On May 14th, we had our Wizard of Oz themed prom at the Crown Plaza in Warwick, and it was quite the hit. We had our honors night on May 18th. We inducted 28 juniors and seniors into the National Honor Society, as well as 32 seniors as a part of the Rhode Island Honor Society. We celebrated the induction of our Tri-End Music Honor Society members, as well as our National Dance Arts Honor Society members. In addition, we awarded over $10,000 in scholarships from local organizations. On June 20th, we had a student-directed production of 10 Ways to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse that had rave reviews from all who attended. The best part is that it includes students from all majors, which was a lot of fun. We had our senior music recitals at the Music Mansion in Providence on June 24th, and our senior dance and theater showcase on June 25th. Both were incredible events honoring our class of 2022. An exciting new event held this year was our first annual JMW Film Festival. We had a packed house and premiered 11 different short films written, directed, edited, and starring our 9th through 12th grade film majors and the Broadcasting Club. We rolled out the red carpet, had a 360 camera, and even had live interviews as people entered. During intermission, we had an extensive art gallery up to celebrate our visual arts students. Friday, June 3rd, our chorus attended the Trills and Thrills Music Festival and scored a Superior, the top ranking for their performance. June 7th, the night before graduation, we had a Chowder Fest and Songwriting Night hosted by Tri-End. It was held in our amphitheater and was a great way to hear the talent of our music department in a more casual environment. And last but not least, we held our graduation here last Wednesday evening and bid farewell to our class of 2022. Thank you for all of those who were able to attend. Our final event of this year is actually this evening in the auditorium beginning at 6:30, and that is our 9th and 10th grade year showcase. It has been an eventful spring, and it feels so good to have a feeling of normalcy back. Thank you for giving me your time tonight. I will be attending CCRI's Running Start in the fall, so fellow theater major Vincent Foley and Princess Sophia, and video and film major Princess Sophia will be your official new student representatives beginning this fall. Thank you and have a great summer.
new faces. Sorry. So we have 3 people signed up. So okay. So the first person who's signed up for public art is a Asian is it's
Thank you very much. Thank you to Superintendent McWilliams, Vice Chair Moreno, distinguished members of the committee. My name is Nancy Idaluca. I'm the Rhode Island Director for Unite Here Local 26, and I represent your food service workers here in the city of Pawtucket. I'm here tonight in a proactive role. We have begun negotiations with Aramark, your food service contractor. We've only had a couple of negotiations with Aramark. I'm concerned. I'm raising the flag because I want to make sure that we all appreciate what the men and women do that come in every single day and make sure that our children in Pawtucket are fed. They were the ones who were in here when the schools were empty, making sure that everybody had their breakfast bags and their lunch bags. They made sure that they were fed 7 days for weeks and months, and now 2 years at a time on 5 days worth of work. They're incredibly committed, and I'm asking respectfully that the school board think of them, remember them, and appreciate them, and have their backs during this negotiations. We will be meeting with Aramark again tomorrow. I'm hopeful, but again, I want to be proactive in making sure that I have come to the school committee with concerns. We are essential workers. We are vital to the fabric of the education system, along with the teachers, the support staff, the bus drivers, the custodial staff. We are the unsung heroes, and I just want to make sure that they're remembered. And I still think about 2016. I have not had the pleasure, except for board member Grant, who is terrific and has been always gracious with her time in listening to the members and the food service workers. And so I'm just, like I said, I want to be proactive. I want to let you know that there is a potential problem and that we will be reaching out again. I think you got some emails because we want to make sure that we are communicating, so that I certainly hope there is not a problem. I do not want a repeat of 2016. That is one of my biggest concerns. And I think in 2016, we waited too long to reach out and to communicate with different, with the school committee, with the mayor's office. And I won't make that mistake again. And so again, I just want to make sure that you understand what's happening. I'm happy to take questions if anyone has any questions. But again, I am respectfully requesting the support, that you actually show the support publicly for your food service workers here in Pawtucket.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming up in front of us and talking to us this evening. I know most of the times we're not supposed to make comments. We're just supposed to listen. But you brought up a couple of very good points that everyone does need to remember. You guys were there feeding these children. You guys had the food outside of the schools, made sure that all the kids were fed. And I don't think just myself, but I think the parents, I think the whole committee, I think the administration, the teachers really do appreciate that. Just, and Nancy, I do just want to let you know this. When it comes to negotiations, we have been advised by our attorney. Unfortunately, it is very difficult. We cannot get involved. But like I said, and I know me personally, and I think I can speak for the committee and maybe the rest of the people here, we really do appreciate everything the workers do. I don't think, I'm not in that lunchroom, but I don't think the people who work for the school department, the administration, look at the workers as Aramark workers. They look at them as people who come in and care about the children. And that's exactly what it is. I don't want anyone to walk away tonight thinking that we just look at them as a lunch lady, a lunch man, a lunch person. We actually look at them as people who care and make sure our children are taken care of and that they get what they're supposed to. I personally have been in a school when a child has walked by fruit and someone has said, hey, don't forget your fruit, because a fruit is an important part of the day. And that can make a big difference for that child, even if they put it in their pocket for dinner. So, like I said, I know we don't normally comment, and it is very difficult for us to get involved, but I personally do want you guys to know that I do appreciate you. I thank you all for coming to work every day and doing what you do. I know you're short-staffed, you're probably very unappreciated, but you are appreciated by us and myself.
And we appreciate you. We appreciate you, and I know that was an issue that council has said not to speak to us, and I do know it is because we're subcontracted. I understand that it's between the subcontractor and the members, but the bottom line, regardless of legal opinion, and I certainly respect legal opinion, the bottom line is, if there is a labor problem in the city of Pawtucket, it is the school committee's problem. So again, I am being proactive and I am letting you know that there could be, but by the same token, I will be here to keep you posted as to what's happening. If there's not a problem, I don't want you worrying about it. But if there is a problem, I think that you should know, because you would be the ones that have to call and have to let the parents know that we could have a real labor problem and a real issue here in Pawtucket. And I will never I never want it to be said that, well, we came out of nowhere and we didn't give any warning and nobody knows what's happening, and because you can't move forward without good communication. And so that's what it's all about. But I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up is Amy Fitz. Patrick.
Good evening. My name is Amy Fitzpatrick. I've grown up and continue to live in Pawtucket. And this past March, I began my 24th year as a teacher in the Pawtucket School Department. And I'm currently teaching my 23rd class at Curve McCabe Schools, presently teaching the 5th grade. I've continued to stay at that school with 4 different principals due to the feeling of community and family-like atmosphere that is exhibited inside and outside the school walls. I stand here before you now to discuss the possibility of having a playground at Curve McCabe. We were first told about the possibility of having a playground about 2.5 years ago, the fall of 2019. And at that time, we were told that planning for the community playground would be on school property and take the school year to plan, with possible groundbreaking in June of 2020. Well, we all know what happened. COVID in our world, especially the school environment, shifted. However, as we now get back to some kind of norm, it makes me happy to hear that there is again discussion about a long-needed playground. While working at Curve McCabe, I have watched the large recess yard at the corner of Mendon Ave and Cottage Street barely change. When I started at the school, there was 1 tree in a yard, a basketball kickball diamond, and a few hopscotch games that were painted onto the cement ground. After a couple of years, the tree was taken down. In August of 2016, we gratefully thank the Hasbro Company for donating the materials and volunteers to help us decorate our small yard in the back of the schoolyard on Baxter Street, as well as repainting the baseball diamond and games in the big lot. 6 or 7 years ago, the school also had assistance with small donations of recent equipment with the help of training from Playworks. And I myself have also put in donors' choose projects to get recess materials, jump ropes, balls, soccer nets, etc. If it wasn't for those donations from others, our students would have nothing. Nothing at all to be playing with at recess, and those materials only last so long. Due to construction at our school this past summer into the fall, our large playground was also paved, and the basic kickball, baseball diamond, and hopscotch games were once again no longer on the property until literally about 2 weeks ago. As I'm sure that you are aware, movement, students outside running around, playing builds, both gross and fine motor skills, build strength, and maybe even more importantly, social skills. All these things were compromised during our COVID times and are being retaught regularly during the school day. Recess allows for students to release endorphins and allow the stress and anxiety of the classroom's new lessons to be alleviated. However, a playground also improves motivation and collaborating to solve problems, learning to take turns on playground equipment. My hope is that after working at Curvin for more than 23 years, I will soon see a playground on school grounds. Thanks for your time and attention.
Thank you. Last up is Jody Olivo.
Good evening. My name is Jody Olivo, and I'm a proud new teacher at Curvin McCabe. I have been at 31 years at Nathaniel Green, and I've joined a wonderful family. I'm here to read a wonderful letter from some 5th graders that really needed you to hear their voice. In our opinion, the students at Curvin McCabe School should have a playground. First, students will learn how to communicate and get along. Students need to communicate to take turns. Also to talk about what they want to go on. This will be a time to make new friends. Next, it is safer to play on a playground than a concrete yard. Students run around and crash into each other on the concrete yard. They fall down and scrape their hands and legs and even bang their heads. Playgrounds are built on rubbery, bouncy, soft surfaces. Finally, it is fun to have a playground to play on. The swings are fun, also slides and rock climbing. There can be a here at Curvin McCabe. As an OT, we study children's occupations extensively, and play is one of the most important occupations of a child. Society as a whole right now is spending more time inside on electronics, playing screen-based games. Children especially need more time for outdoor play to build foundational skills that they need for learning. Currently, students at Curvin McCabe are getting outdoor time during recess. However, they only have a blacktop to play on. Many children, especially in the older grades, are creative and have come up with group games that they can play during this time. At Curvin McCabe, we have 3 specialized classrooms with children who have an autism spectrum diagnosis. These children have a difficult time interacting with peers and therefore are sometimes unable to participate in group activities. The lack of a playground has been especially hard on these students. A playground would foster so many different skills for all children in the school, but particularly the students with disabilities. Here are some of the skills that a playground can help with. Social skills. Playing on a playground initiates friendships, helps children to learn boundaries, and teaches skills such as waiting and turn taking. Sensory processing skills. Playgrounds have many sensory experiences. Swings provide vestibular, I had to look that up, input, which is very common for many children. They are able to use large muscles in their bodies to climb, jump, and play. The tactile system is stimulated with things in our natural environment. Incorporating all of these sensory systems during one play opportunity will let children get out energy or recharge their brains. Motor skills. Children use large muscles in their body constantly on a playground, jumping, crawling, swinging, pushing, and pulling. Playground equipment helps to develop balance and coordination as well. Children need to build their gross motor skills before they can develop the fine motor skills needed for grasping, writing, and drawing. There is tons of research proving that outdoor play at a park or a playground helps to improve learning in an elementary age child. And I believe Kirby McCabe students deserve to have that opportunity. Again, thank you.
Sir, at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the previous minutes of 4/28/22 and 5/26/22. Motion has aid and a seconded. All those in favor? Aye. It's okay. So old business action items removed from table, transfer of all funds to soccer coach. A motion has been aid to remove it from the table that has and a seconded. Roll call, please.
Ms. Manola? Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Larrabee?
Yes.
Mr. Marino?
Yes. A transfer of all funds to soccer coach. A motion to approve it has and second. Any questions at all?
So
It was great.
I know I was the one to ask that we table this. First of all, because there was no one here at the meeting to speak to it. So I guess I'd like to hear why this would be done or why they want it to be done. And then I have quite a few questions of my own, but I'd like them to present something to us.
Sure, so, just for everyone else that's here, in May, we brought this forward to ask to, eliminate the, golf team because of lack of participation, and transfer the funds, for an additional, coach at each of the high schools, Shane Tolman, assistant coach for soccer. At that meeting, as you mentioned, it was tabled so that you could ask some additional questions of the athletic director and assistant director who are both here this evening. I will say, and I have to apologize in advance, we had some plans to go further because you wanted to talk about some other sports. Assistant Superintendent Ramsey, Assistant Superintendent Raddick, myself, we were planning to meet with
well, you had asked us to explore like what other interests there were out there. So we were gonna meet with the middle school and the athletic directors. And what happened is somebody was out, it was canceled, it was rescheduled, then it was canceled again, then I was out on vacation. So we haven't done that part yet because you had asked at the meeting, what other sports are out there, how do they go about, finding out what the interests of the students. So I apologize in advance that we don't have those facts for you. We will have them, but I will let the athletic director speak to answer your questions that you have that I could not answer. So, thank you.
I thank you for having us, and I do want to thank the school committee for honoring our unified basketball team and softball team. So, if you have any questions,
Well, like I said, I have to start out with saying, I was very disappointed when this was put on, that no one came to discuss with us, that all of a sudden you want us to transfer these funds. Well, why? What happened to golf?
So,
Like, do you guys have a presentation or
so
something?
in the past 3-4 seasons, we have not had a golf team. We co-op Shea and it's been a lack of interest for golf.
So how have you
Boys
guys
and girls.
shared or kind of shared with the community, both at Tolman and Shea, that this is a sport that is available?
Well, just like all our sports, I mean, we recruit, we go to the cafeteria, we have lunches, we go table to table, I know.
So what you're saying is, when is golf time, or when would you have golf time?
It's in the spring.
So you, early winter, if I walked into Tolman this past winter, there would be signs promoting golf. And if anyone's interested, to reach out to your department? Is that what you're saying?
No, not this past winter, because for the past 2 or 3 years, we haven't gotten anybody. And I'm going to be quite honest and blunt with you. We don't have kids playing golf in our schools. We have a couple of thousand kids at our high schools. I'm going to venture to guess that nobody owns a set of golf clubs. And, how that could be accomplished, I don't know.
Would they need to? Like,
What's-
have we reached out to a golf course? Would they need to right away have to own a set of golf clubs? There's not maybe some interest in it.
Well, in other words, they don't have golf clubs, they don't have the interest in it because they haven't been playing. And we used to get some kids, and we did provide, we do have some old golf clubs laying around in the school.
We have 12 sets of golf
Right.
that we purchased. Okay. And then, even over the last 10 years that we had golf players at golf, maybe one player had any experience playing golf.
So when's the last time you guys advertised for golf?
I can tell you now, at Shea, we advertised this year.
I believe it.
Because you just said you didn't advertise.
No, because they had a team, our team went defunct about 2 or 3 years before the Shea team. And we would try to get some kids. We had one kid who was a JMW student about 4 or 5 years ago, the last player from Tolman, who he went to school here, and he was in the Tolman district. So we couldn't get a full team, so we had him playing with Shea. It wasn't even a co-op. He was traveling with the team, playing as an individual and practicing with them every day. He practices at
I can speak for myself,
driving.
I went 3 days in the cafeteria. 5 lunches.
At Shea.
Yes, 5 lunches, and then our coach at the time, did the same thing. His Corey, who was our athletic director, the last 8 or 9 years, the same thing.
So, but this January, and I just want to make sure I got my facts correct, you are the athletic director, correct? So you oversee Tolman and Shea, correct?
3 middle schools, correct?
So for Shea this year, you went around and posted in Shea for golf, but you didn't do anything over at Tolman.
Oh, good. Frank.
But Frank said he didn't do
Well, I
anything.
also didn't post for ice hockey either, because we haven't had that team in several years. At some point, you don't get the kids to play.
It's also, I mean, golf is kind of like a city type of thing, like, it's a different type of sport. Our students here are not playing well. You know, if you ask our students here, they play soccer, they play basketball, they play football. Yes, they're breathing that.
And that's fine, but my point is, most of these students are not going to go out in life and become a professional soccer player. Most of these students are not going to become a professional football player or a baseball player. But we all know that most business deals are made on the golf course. And this option should be offered to our students for when they grow up, whether they want to just play, learn, get some technique.
If a student comes to us tomorrow or next spring and says, Coach can't,
Yeah, I wanna
I
play
want
golf.
to play golf, we say, absolutely you can. So if you have one place who want to play golf, we sign them up independently. Just like a few years ago, we had a student who wanted to do gymnastics. We don't have a gymnastics.
Right, we have one girl.
You can never
do that.
deny
So-
a student to play a sport.
But if we transfer these funds, are you gonna have those funds to be able to pay for that student to go and be able to do these things?
Yes, if you have a student who wants to do it independently, of course.
We will.
Yeah.
We will have those funds independently. That's under something different.
We would never deny, ice hockey, because that's a team sport. When you talk like individual sport, like golf, gymnastics, we can do an individual sport.
We did do gymnastics a few years ago. We had Coach Murray, our baseball coach, because he was going to the gymnastics facility with his daughter. He acted as a coach because he's a certified coach, and that young lady competed at the state level. If I could make a,
We need to find out first if, I understand you state that we cannot deny a student something, but if we transfer these funds, the golf funds, as it states on my paperwork, to a soccer coach, then if we don't have the funds there, then I don't understand how we can pay for it.
I'll be
Yes,
honest with you,
Melissa,
I was gonna ask, I was gonna bring up, that we ask for assistant coach for soccer at those schools. Well, I'm just trying to look at financially what we can do, because our two soccer programs need another coach. We have 25 to 30 kids on each team, two coaches.
we're gonna have approximately 50 for Tolman this year. I talked to Coach
Our
Silver.
soccer programs need another coach, regardless if we decide to drop or not. We have, again, I'm gonna say 25 to 30 on both soccer teams. I don't have a problem keeping count.
She's gonna answer my
No, just can't get kids going.
So what would have to happen, Mrs. Grant, is that if it was, and they had a process where there ended up being some interest in golf or another sport that we're not even talking about right now, we would have to relook at, where the various sports, are and what the participation is. If by chance that it did go and it was added to, the assistant coach, it is slightly less, but we would have to either reduce maybe another line, hope for additional funding from the state when we build a budget in a future year. So I think that when I had mentioned earlier that we didn't get to meet, maybe, and this is just a suggestion, that we can meet as we had planned to, and meet with the coaches and the principals and just come back about what some other options are on moving forward on advertising for athletics and sports like that. But to answer your question in short is if golf did appear after the committee did happen to vote to move the funds, you would either move something else or we would transfer from another athletic line, maybe a uniform line, maybe there's savings there.
We would have to pull from someplace.
We would have to pull from someplace else, or if there's additional state funding or we get an increase in funding, maybe we would earmark it. But I think that's a great, it just kind of light bulbed in my head when you had said about, Mr. Campagano and Mr. Liberty go around to the cafeterias. Maybe we could meet with them and figure out, I don't understand it fully, but maybe by talking with me, we can bounce ideas off each other and figure out a formal process and communicate back to the school committee on how the changes were, so we could ensure that we're putting out there the correct sports. I mean, I know that sports have been around, as typical sports when I grew up, that are different, that my kids played different sports than I did, because the sports have changed over the years. So maybe it's good to
I
promote
just
around
hate
like
to see us take funds away and then us need those funds back and then have to find them. And, you know, golf is,
Well,
golf is a sport that's, you know, maybe our kids, but there might be some kids, and it seems to be coming back alive. We see some of the private schools and things like that starting to pick it up again. And I just hate to see us pull those funds without really kind of getting any answers. You know, maybe the ask, like you said, should have been more like, hey, will you guys approve money, but not to take away from something else.
if I could speak to that, a couple of things. We're only paying one golf coach per team. We would probably only have one golf coach for the two schools. That's, we used to pay the golf coach, and we had about $2,700 to $2,800. I'm pretty sure that, you know, we can find that money within the budget, with us, you know, looking at some different line items, whether it's transportation, whether it's supplies, those things. There are always ways to find some money in that budget. And if I could just speak to one other thing in a comparative type of note, if you look around the state, these are the following schools off the top of my head that don't have golf teams: Woonsocket High School, Central Falls High School, all the Providence Public Schools, Rogers High School, I think even Mount Hope High School lacks a team, I said Woonsocket. So the common theme is these are the urban inner city type of schools. And again, it's a demographic thing. Kids aren't playing golf. Now, if somebody came in with a program and introduced that, you know, and got kids to have free lessons at the Pawtucket Country Club or something like that, then maybe we would start seeing kids wanting to play golf.
Thank you for that, Mr. Lillibitty, because that's actually kind of where I was heading with this. In a sense of golf is a elite sport. It's a sport that requires a lot of money in order to play. It requires access that our community does not have. In order to play golf, to have lessons at an early age, you need the funds, you need the access, you need to be able to go to a country club. How many of our kids' families have access to country clubs? Golf is a dying sport, or maybe was never really a growing sport in urban communities. And Pawtucket is an urban community now. Pawtucket is not the same as 20 years ago. It's not the same as 40 years ago. And the interest in sports have drastically changed. And soccer is one of the most popular sports in the world. It's one of the sports that is most played. We have a large populations of students who come and immigrate from different countries. And soccer is one of those sports that is played all throughout the world because it's accessible, it's easy to play, and it doesn't cost much money to just have a ball and go outside. I think because our student population has such a large interest in soccer, I think we are actually doing a disservice by not giving them the extra coaches they need in order to grow within the sport, which could potentially take them places, as we just recently seen with recent success at Tolman, especially, where there was, I don't know if it was D1 or D2, but champions and students who are going on to go play at the college level, I think is awesome and great. And if we have that ability here to continue to grow our program, especially with a potential soccer stadium on the rise right here in our own city, I say we take these funds and we use it. If golf comes back into the light and we do have student interest, I'm pretty sure we can find ways. But I think for the sake of time, especially because the soccer season is coming up, and I know hiring for coaches and things will need to take place probably sooner than later. I am in favor of approving this item, and yeah.
So, on occasion, we watch golf at home on Sundays for quiet afternoons. But what I have noticed is the golf players are young. They're 18, 19, 20 years old, and they're out there and they're playing professionally. So if you're looking to start someone into playing golf, where is they gonna go with it in high school? You need to back it up, and you need to bring it into the middle schools and start them there. Because then, if they choose to advance, or just make it available to them. And if it's something that they're interested in, then bring it forward.
It actually has to stop even before the middle school. What you want, right, any type of sports program has to start, we have to have few programs. And that's my next thing, is actually starting track. All right, but everything comes down to money, comes down to obviously transportation right now. But we have to start programs at the middle school in order to get our high school programs back up.
As far as golf goes, if you're asking me, an 18-year-old, if I want to play golf, well, I would have more opportunity playing soccer or basketball or football, some other sport like that where I would get noticed or, right, versus something where I'm already too old to enter the field. So that would be something that you would have to have a discussion with the athletics program and put together something where you could start younger.
And I think one of the important things that you said, and I think this is something that this committee has been trying to push, and I think Cheryl has hired people to work with the community, is why don't we have relationships with the Pawtucket Country Club? Why don't we try to get our younger group in there? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 53 years old. I just went out and bought a set of golf clubs. Because you know what? As I get older, I realize this is something I need to go out and do and relax. And I wish I had started a long time ago. I wish someone had given me the opportunity to be able to do that. And with all due respect, I understand what Mr. Lobby is saying, but I think what it goes back to is, and I understand it's all money and things like that, but I think we need to give a variety to our students. We need to offer and make sure we have that variety. You know, we were grouped supposedly in this urban group, but we don't need to follow that. We can be an individual school district. We can work with, you know, the country club, maybe even one in, you know, there might even be someone in the district who wants to maybe be a liaison and help the students. But I don't think it's something that we should give up on, because unlike what Stephen said, when these students leave high school, I think it's great that we have soccer, but for them to be able to go on and live these dreams, you're not going to go, you know, you're not going to go work for a company in Africa and say, hey, you know, let's go down to Gillette. And most of the time, you probably got to go and play a game of golf. And I think it's just something that we, in our variety, should be able to offer to our students. Like Melissa said, there are probably some other things that maybe, you know, maybe this should be tabled again. And Melissa and the staff should, you know, get together and, you know, if this is something that is so important, they were saying, well, let me just finish. They were saying that if they could find the money for golf, maybe they could find the $2,800 somewhere, cut someplace for that soccer coach. Because if you can do it for golf, if you can find that stipend for golf, why can't you find it without taking away from another sport?
Yeah. I'm okay with not getting rid of golf, okay? I'm fine with that. I will keep golf, but I would just like to have 2 assistant coaches for each high school.
So that would need to be a different agenda item.
And that's fine. So whatever we need to do to make sure
that would be a totally different agenda.
That our 2 soccer teams have another coach, because they really need another coach, because our numbers are rising in soccer.
And that's completely different.
Okay.
But we were told you guys were coming to us to take the money.
Well, we were trying to be creative. We were trying to be with the money.
And if we looked at things and we said, listen, if we wanted to add coaches, 2 coaches, where can we save our district money? And say, we look at one sport that really isn't doing well, we haven't had a team in 4 years.
Well, I think like Melissa said, I think you guys need to get together with them and kind of figure out what the other options are.
But it wasn't like we just said that we're giving it up. We were trying to be creative and actually help everybody else say, let's save a little money. So if you looked at it, we was like, I don't know what the numbers are, but we were saving the district money by getting rid of golf and adding some coaches. Because they were making less money. That's all. But we have no problem keeping it up. Absolutely no problem.
Well, you know, we can keep doing, but I mean, are we gonna keep looking for hockey players as well?
If you want to, sure.
And we,
Do whatever you want.
and I talked to, we had 2 kids, like I said, a couple of years ago, they played on a co-op with Moses Brown. Moses Brown was wonderful. They paid for everything.
I think we're getting off topic here.
Well, no, but you're
it's
saying
an
that
agenda item.
we're not doing enough to offer golf, but we also,
But
I
that's
don't
the
go around
agenda.
asking people for ice hockey, but I do, if I could
Mr.
complete,
Laliberte,
if I could finish,
Mr. Laliberte,
you're not letting me finish.
I can't let you finish because that's not what's on the agenda. The agenda tonight states funds from golf for soccer coach. That's what we're discussing tonight. We're not talking about hockey. We're not talking about recruiting for hockey. We're talking about taking funds. If you guys want to do it a different way and you want to take up Mr. Vine's idea, then that's a different agenda item. But we are talking about these funds, and we as a school committee need to discuss it this way. If you want to come back to the committee to discuss funds for 2 soccer coaches or how many you want, and it be taken from someplace else, that's a different story. But this tonight is about golf to soccer. That's what the agenda item is.
All right, well, I also heard things brought up about middle school golf and programs and country clubs and stuff like that, so I don't know why I shouldn't say that.
Well, I think
For the question,
table it because I think Melissa and I think the superintendent wanted to discuss.
so we want to table the transfer of the all funds to the soccer coach.
Right.
So we have a second on that.
Figure out what they want to do.
Like, here, a second on the table. Sorry. So we can do a roll on the transfer of all funds to soccer coach.
Ms. Manolo? No. Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Larby?
Yes.
Mr. Marina?
Yes.
Motion failed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So just so I'm sure, so can we, if we want to, I just want to make sure, so we can ask for another meeting at school committee?
You should
I don't know,
speak
who
to
am I
Melissa
talking to?
Devine or the superintendent.
Right. About keeping golf and just adding school coaches, is that what we'd like to see?
Well, no, you guys need to talk with Melissa about how you guys provide the funds for it.
Thank you.
Okay. So at this time, I would entertain a motion in favor? Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, but we have a contract on the agenda. Does that need to be?
Is there a motion from Mr. Larby to
Adjourn.
Sorry.
So it all, was in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.